Racing action from Penn-Can Speedway, an historic event coming to Kirkwood this weekend. A local college graduate is making it big in motorsports media. All that and more on this edition of The Race Report. Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Race Report. I'm Ron Hills. Look around the pits at any racetrack. Most of those race teams wouldn't be there without the support of the sponsors whose names are emblazoned on the race cars. Matt Cleary has parlayed his upstate New York education and knowledge of racing into a media management company that has reached the highest echelon of motorsports marketing.
Matt, tell us how you got started in the business and what it is you do.
Well, I got started in the business working at Skip Barber. I was hired to work at Lime Rock Park, and we were selling hospitality, selling vendor space, and generally doing event management work, making sure people were in the right place at the right time, and just that everything went smoothly. They had 3 major events: NASCAR, Vintage, and the IMSA each year, and so that was our core focus. And so now, 10 years on, then I started Sunday Group Management, and our core focus is motorsports communications, marketing communications on behalf of motorsports firms, and so that's what gets us to the racetrack every week.
So do you keep an eye out on up-and-coming drivers and maybe approach them when you think they're ready?
Well, as I mentioned, I worked at Skip Barber, so I've had a long history of watching, young kids come up and become professional, go on and win the Indy 500. Frankly, it makes you feel old to say, oh, I remember when that kid was, running in go-karts. So yeah, absolutely. And it's something that I really relish about the sport, is watching talent prove itself and demonstrate capability and find opportunity to move up. So absolutely, that's something we always have an eye out for.
When you come across a driver with some great talent, there are always other drivers who are maybe just as talented, but it takes something special to get good sponsorship. You need someone with extra skills that a driver does, I should say, that needs extra skills. What are those skills?
We were talking before about how the sport has changed over the years, and that's something that's absolutely true. Where before all that mattered was your ability to go quick, and if you were, someone who wasn't pleasant to be around, that didn't matter. As long as you went fast, you'd be fine. These days, a professional athlete, a professional driver, has to be just as capable outside of the car as they are in it. There's a lot of people who are able to drive a race car very fast, to drive a race car at its limit for hours on end. But someone who's able to then get out of that car and speak knowingly with sponsors, with the media, in a way that creates value for the people that are supporting him, that's a much harder thing to find, and that's who finds success.
And also, when the driver's day is done, he has to be the kind of disciplined person that goes back, trains in the gym, takes care of himself. I mean, you don't want a party boy that's going to go out and have too much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the sort of stereotypical race car driver generally is someone who is pretty boring. They go, they train, they're on their bikes, they run, whatever they're doing. They're very fastidious about that, and they're usually slow drivers when they get out on the real road, because obviously they get their fix on the track. So yeah, it takes a lot more than just a certain set of skills. It's a whole batch that really is what makes an actual top pro driver.
The days of James Hunt, the famous Formula One driver, and his escapades at the Seneca Lodge just down the hill are long over. But things have really changed in the sense of social media. It gets bewildering after a while. How do you keep up with that, and how do you choose the best social media?
Well, there's a lot of metrics tools that you can use to, you've got a kind of a toolbox of different, both ways to communicate outwardly, and then also to document what you've done and also demonstrate engagement with the audience, because that's something that social media is special in, that it creates the opportunity to engage directly with your public, with your audience, whatever that is. If it's race fans, or if it's Tide selling soap, or whatever that audience is, it creates a special opportunity, and it's very instant. And that's one of the things that's dangerous and also beneficial about social media. So there's a wide scope of tools that we use on behalf of our clients to create content and then also to capture what happened.
You know, back in the days when people like Roger Penske and Richard Petty popularized motor racing, it attracted major sponsors. Most racers got a cold shoulder when they went looking for support. Nowadays, I don't think that's the case. Do they welcome you with open arms most of the times?
It's a very challenging market. It's a very challenging market because there's so much diversification of people's interests, and so it's a lot easier to, split up the audience. The same way you've seen your cable lineup split up over the years. The same thing. There's a lot of options for the public to select from when it comes to what they're into, and motor racing is just one of those. So it's a big challenge to find that match, but it's also a special opportunity to create value for an organization that might not otherwise be able to do so in a meaningful way.
When you graduated from Hamilton College, so what kind of a degree did you have?
English literature.
Well, you're well prepared for this industry. What advice would you give to people who want to work their way into motorsports, not at the driver level, but to do something like this? What do you look for in people that might want to join your organization?
Well, I think it's for drivers and also just for people who want to work sort of on the other side of the pit wall. Being motivated, being very hardworking is the two main things. Being capable is something that you can work on. Having a natural sort of skill set is something you can build and develop. But really just being motivated and focused and open to new opportunity is the best way to develop what you're doing and move ahead.
But what about education? Is there any particular program? I mean, you were an English major, but are there other majors they may want to consider to give them that upper edge? Because, everybody likes to work hard, at least if the successful ones do, but you got to have that extra edge, and that might be in the form of education. Do you have any advice for young people?
Well, absolutely, education is the foundation for anything. But there's no specific path, and that's part of what makes this paddock so compelling and so interesting is even though there are a lot of similar job roles for all these teams, the people that fill those roles have had very different lives that get them to this point. So there's no one specific perfect education for this. I know a lot of engineers who become PR people and PR people who learn to become engineers. So there's no one specific path.
And CPAs who wind up at the other end of the microphone here. So that is great. Now, you have how many clients here this weekend?
This weekend we're working with just over 30 drivers and about 20 cars through the weekend.
Time now to take a look at some of the results from around the area. Todd Kago, Tyler Yago, Josh Hurlbut, James Cornell, Garrett Rushlow, Rocky Rothwell, Jason Thomas, and Tyler Walker all scored wins at Skyline Raceway Park on Friday night. Here are some photos of the Hill Speedway courtesy of D&J Photos. Their winners included Mike Koser, Burt Maynard, Keith Jack Lamphere, Kevin Garland, and Dalton Hinckley. Neither Afton nor Thunder Mountain bothered to report their results from last weekend. Keith Flock was the modified winner Saturday night at Lebanon Valley Speedway. Ray Hall Jr., Stephen LaRoche, Evan Deneau, John Devine, Tim Meltz, and Chris Vanderpute also were winners. We'll have results from Penn Can Speedway when the race report continues, but first, here's a look at this week's Car of the Week from Brush and Pallet Auto Sales and Candor.
You're watching the race report on Fox 40.
"30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto and Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyer's program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City has the best pricing and selection of audio, video, and computer cables in the area. Don't spend a fortune on that HDMI cable for your new HD TV or Blu-ray player. Unicorn Electronics has quality cables in the lengths you need at a price you can afford. Expanding your network? Unicorn has the patch cables and accessories to make it happen. When you need to connect, think Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City.
98.1 The Hawk, number 1 for 20 in a row.
This is Jason Aldean.
Hot new country.
This is Luke Brown. And kiss tomorrow goodbye.
This is Charles, Dave,
And Hillary.
and we are Lady Annabella.
And I don't know why you don't take me downtown anymore.
Binghamton's Hot New Country.
This is Carrie Underwood.
Every tear-soaked whiskey memory blown away.
Binghamton's Hot New Country. 98.1 The Hawk.
For 3 generations, we've been building world-class American performance.
Like the new Edelbrock Power Package Top End Kit, based on Edelbrock's powerful RPM crate engines. Each kit includes aluminum heads and intake, cam and lifters, gaskets, and hardware to build your own 400-plus horsepower Chevy small block. For 3 generations, it's pure American performance from the leader. Call now for your free Edelbrock catalog.
Edelbrock makes them right here in the USA.
Saturday afternoon, you can meet many of the legends of 5 Mile Point Speedway at a meet and greet party at Valley Park on Francis Street in Kirkwood. It starts at 2 o'clock and there will be pizza, soda, and water, along with a bake sale by the Kirkwood Historical Society. Here's a partial list of drivers who plan to attend. Everyone is welcome, so come and enjoy the afternoon with some of the best drivers in history, and special thanks to Gary Jupolet for their support of this event. To Penn Can Speedway Friday night, first up were the factory stocks. Here's Craig Hawley to call the action.
Off turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Racing down the front straightaway, W17 of Simpson rides into turn number 1. Gruber riding there in the number 2 spot. Up on the outside of the speedway comes the X of Josh Towner. Up the back straightaway, they're chasing the B17 of Steve Simpson. Driver rides into turn number 3 and 4. Gruber down on the bottom. Here comes Towner in the X machine. The 2.5 of Randy Fox's 4th, 5th to 57, and 8 Shakes Motorsports ride of Jeremy Williams. Here comes Gruber. Making a bit down on the bottom off turn number 2. They ride it down the back stretch into turn 3 and 4 this time. Lap number 3 up in lights to the Pepsi scoreboard for the B17 of Steve Simpson. Gruber is second. Towner racing up to the 3rd, bringing Randy Fox with him. The B17 of Steve Simpson sets the pace up quarter number 2. Here comes Randy Fox. Took a look at the inside of the Towner machine. Nothing to it as they ride it down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Continues to be the B17 bomber out in front of Steve Simpson, showing the way into turn number 1. Second is Gruber. 3rd is Towner. 4th is Randy Fox. 5th, Williams. 6th, Culbertson. 7th is Conklin. 8th is Komar. And 9th is Sykes. They ride him up the back straightaway. It continues to be the B17 of Steve Simpson showing the way. Here comes Gruber down to the inside. Side by side for the race lead at the stripe. It's still the B17 by a half a bumper into turn number 1. Gruber going to continue to try to make that bottom side of the speedway work. The B17 of Simpson shows the way, but Gruber right there, he's going to get a good run into turn number 3 and 4. Down on the inside of the speedway rides. Gruber in the middle now. Into turn number 1, they ride. It's still the B17 of Steve Simpson showing the way. Off the back turn 2. They're going to come into lap traffic here in a few laps as they ride it into turn number 3. Here comes Randy Fox on the outside. Going to make it around the 7 of Gruber up to the number 2 spot. Going to battle with the B17 now as they ride to turn 3. It rides the B17 of Simpson. The 2.5 of Randy Fox taking a dive down low. It continues to be the B17 of Steve Simpson. Driving out of Lakewood, Pennsylvania, shows the way off quarter number 2. Randy Fox right there in the number 2 spot. Towner trying to reel in the 7 of Gruber as they ride up the back straightaway. The B-17 of Steve Simpson shows the way. Here comes Randy Fox. The 9 of Towner down 4 laps to the field. Out front, new race leader up turn 2. Randy Fox takes him up the back straightaway. Simpson right there in the number 2 spot. Third is Gruber. Fourth Towner. Fifth Culbertson. This time 10 and 10 to go for the 2.5 of Randy Fox. Here comes Gruber to the inside of Simpson. Going to try to steal the number 2 spot away, but Simpson motoring back on the outside. Towner right there with an eyeball on both of them as they go up the back straightaway. Out front, Randy Fox going to use the cushion. Look at Towner all the way up to the wild side. Gruber down on the bottom. Wild side V17 of Simpson up on the top side. Fox sets it down to corner number 1 and 2 for the final time, the south end of the speedway. At the halfway point of the back straightaway, making a half a lap away from victory for Randy Fox. Off turn number 4, checkered flag is in the air, picking up the win in the factory stock feature, Randy Fox. Second is Steve Simpson. Third, I believe it was Towner. Fourth was Gruber. Fifth is Culbertson.
Next up were the XL 600 Modifieds and a first-time winner this season.
Racing down the front straightaway, 600cc Modifieds roll it down to turn number 1. Hang on out front, Travis Fisher with a great save, incredible driving off the corner. They ride up the back straightaway. It's the 11 of Jamie France out front, car number 11, the Monofork Fireworks ride. Camden Maybe is second right there, position number 2 of the Buffalo Wild Wings sponsored ride. And then it's the 51, the Family Dental Machine, 51 of Chris Kithcart. They ride up the back straightaway. Now here comes the Boyd machine underneath the 56K of Maybe. That's the 163. That's the 63 of Eric Boyd. Fisher now taking a look underneath the Maybe 56 machine, but Camden Maybe turns up the wick in position number 4. On turn number 4, they're all chasing the Monofork Firework number 11 of Jamie France. France rides it down to 1 and 2. The car on the move chasing him down. The Kithcart 51 machine right there in the number 2 spot. Now Boyd third, fourth is Maybe, fifth is Fisher. Here comes the Bailey Boyd 163 trying to get into the top 5. He will do so underneath the 71 of Travis Fisher. Fisher going to try to turn up the wick, but here comes the Kithcart 51 machine reeling in. Jamie France at the front of the field. Off turn number 2. In the corner number 3 and 4, final time, Jamie France. Checkered flag in the air for the first time this season. Jamie France will go to victory lane. Billy Boyd second. Chris Kithcart third. Fourth is Travis Fisher. And fifth is Eric Boyd, unofficially your top 5.
Michael Robinson was the 4-cylinder winner.
For your race leader, Michael Robinson. Nick Kennedy hot on his heels into turn number 1. They ride that way, rim ride to cushion. Kennedy with the advantage now off turn number 2. Inches ahead. Here comes Robinson back on the outside. Into turn number 3. This one's going to come down to the wire. Kennedy tries to hit the binders and do the low side switch with the Bukowski machine. Right there, a white flag in the air. One more time around the speedway. The hood is up on the N2 of Nick Kennedy, trying to just hold on at this point. He's into position number 3, going to try to battle and still for 2. But the R2 of Robinson sets the pace into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is in the air, and the win will go to Michael Robinson. Second to the K2 of Frank Kennedy, and third will be the 5 of Wilder by a bumper.
Saturday afternoon, you can meet many of the legends of 5 Mile Point Speedway at a meet and greet party at Valley Park on Francis Street in Kirkwood. It starts at 2 o'clock and there will be pizza, soda, and water, along with a bake sale by the Kirkwood Historical Society. Here's a partial list of drivers who plan to attend. Everyone is welcome, so come and enjoy the afternoon with some of the best drivers in history, and special thanks to Gary Jupolet for their support of this event.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyer's program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
For 3 generations, we've been building world-class American performance.
Like the new Edelbrock Power Package Top-End Kit, based on Edelbrock's powerful RPM crate engines. Each kit includes aluminum heads and intake, cam and lifters, gaskets, and hardware to build your own 400-plus horsepower Chevy small block. For 3 generations, it's pure American performance from the leader. Call now for your free Edelbrock catalog.
Edelbrock makes them right here in the USA.
Welcome back to the Race Report. To Penn Can Speedway Friday night, Mike Nago Jr. made it win number 3 in the Sportsman feature.
We're racing 25 laps to distance down to turn 1. Mike Nago Jr., the driver of car number M7, sets it down in between 1 and 2, followed by the 99 Zona in position number 2. Up on the outside, down the back straightaway goes the M14 of Moose Gully, the extreme outside of the speedway. Moose Gully shows the way down into that number 3 spot. He is going all the way up to the extreme outside of that speedway. The M7 of Mike Nagle Jr. showing the way into turn number 3 and 4. Zona, Shane, Bunker, Barton, Leonard. White flag is in the air one more time around the speedway for Mike Nagle Jr. for his 3rd win of the 2017 campaign. 1 3/8 of a mile to go. Final time off turn number 2. A battle for second going to come down to the wire. Into 3 and 4 final time. Checkered flag is in the air. And picking up the win, his 3rd of the season for Mike Nagle Jr. Devin Zona 2nd, 3rd Mike Shane, 4th Marty Bunker, and 5th will be the 57 of Dusty Barton.
And a front row start propelled Joey Grammas to another modified win.
Green means go. Down the front straightaway they go. Grammas on the outside. Green on the inside. They ride it off turn number 2. Darwin on the inside. Grammas motors it into turn number 3. He's got the advantage as they ride it off turn number 4. Darwin down on the bottom on the binders. It's Joey Grammas in for lap number 1. 29 remain. Joey Grammas out front. Driver to Palmerton, Pennsylvania. Riding it up the back straightaway they go. Green is 2nd. Petrelak 3rd. They take it into turn number 3 and 4. Pompey on the move. Colston up to the number 5 spot. Here comes Skyler Sheriff. Contact made. Up the back straightaway goes a 5J of Joey Grammas into turn number 3. Grammas rides off turn number 4. A 5-car length advantage over the Grammas, over the 1 of Green. Petrelak rides there into the number 3 spot. It continues to be Joey Grammas out front, looking on a terror in 2017. Look at Nick Petrelak on the outside. And he gets up and over. Here comes Pompey like a rocket ship down the backstretch. Into turn number 3. He's going to hold the bottom. Grammas right there at the point, though, as they come down this time. Joey Grammas, Pompey, Petrelak, Green, and Hartnett, your top 5. Off turn number 2, the 5J of Joey Grammas shows the way. Opening up the 5-car length advantage is the 5 of Grammas, but Pompey reels him into the corners. Petrelak is 3rd, then it's Darwin, Green, Hartnett, Sheriff, Rudalovich, Colston, Looney. As they go into turn number 3, it continues to ride the 5 of Joey Grammas out front, showing the way. Pompey right there in that number 2 spot, 3rd to 72 of Nick Petrelak. Hartnett trying to go around the 1 of Darwin Green for position number 4. They stay side by side into turn number 3. This time 11 laps are up in lights for the 5 of Grammas. Pompey 2nd. Pompey the point leader coming into tonight's racing. Petrelak right there in the number 3 spot, and then there's still a battle for 4th between DRG, Darwin Green, and Kevin Hartnett. They keep that battle raging down in between quarter number 4. Pompey going to try the outside. He's going to get a good run off turn number 2. 1.5 more trips around the speedway. He may have found something up on the top side. It's going to come down to the wire because the white flag is waving. One more time. We'll see if he can make that move work again. And turn number 1. He's going to go way up high, pushes it up and over the cushion. Look for the run off turn 2. It's not there. Into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag is waving. Who's it going to be at the line? It's going to be Joey Gramis. Pompey is second. Hartnett third. Petrelak fourth. Fifth is the one of Darwin Green.
Penn Can Speedway will host a doubleheader this weekend with the Legends of Penn Can and a North-South XL modified shootout added to the Friday night program, while the Sunday show features the Grit Sportsman plus factory stocks and XL 600 modifieds. Champion Speedway in Owego returns to action Saturday night. Race time is 7 p.m. In just 1 week, the stars of NASCAR invade Watkins Glen International. The defending champion of the I Love New York 355 at the Glen is Denny Hamlin. For more information, log on to theglen.com. An exciting new season of racing trivia is underway every Monday night with thousands of dollars in cash and prizes on the line, including remote car starters, TVs, tools, clothing, and cash. Everyone who plays is eligible for prizes. You don't need to be a racing genius to win. That's every Monday night at the California Grill, 912 Vestal Parkway East in Vestal. Trivia starts at 7:30. Check out the California Grill's menu at caligrillny.com. This week's bonus trivia answer is Denny Hamlin. Saturday afternoon, you can meet many of the legends of 5 Mile Point Speedway at a meet and greet party at Valley Park on Francis Street in Kirkwood. It starts at 2 o'clock and there will be pizza, soda, and water, along with a bake sale by the Kirkwood Historical Society. Here's a partial list of drivers who plan to attend. Everyone is welcome, so come and enjoy the afternoon with some of the best drivers in history, and special thanks to Gary Jupolet for their support of this event. For everyone here at the Race Report, thanks for watching. Until next week, I'm Ron Hills, and I'll see you at the races.
Porteraro and Don Holt. So it looks like they went with the staggered lineup, the order they were running. So everybody separated out by 10-yard increments for the restart. Here we go. Tapes are up. Back underway here on our Division I handicap main event. It is Parsons leading middle in the number 2 spot as they work around turns 3 and 4 and come across the line. Back in third is Oakton. Don Holt is fourth. Porteraro back there in fifth. Oakton crosses it up as Don Holt tries to close in. Parsons with the lead as the white flag waves. Don Holt trying to pull the outside sweep on Oakton for third, but it is Jeremy Parsons fist pumping as he comes around turns 3 and 4, and Parsons will be your handicap main event winner.